Hi again everyone, welcome to the Yoga Project. Today we're going to do a really short demonstration of one of the ways you can help improve your breathing pattern. Last post I did was about freeing the upper back and neck area, which is a really commonly seen area for tightness and stiffness, which can cause all sorts of trouble, often causing headaches, pain, troubles with taking a nice deep inhale. And people can feel really fixed that they're breathing up here and find it really difficult, even though they might be told by their yoga teacher or by their physio or by whoever to try and get deeper breaths. It can be really difficult sometimes because your brain doesn't know what you're asking it to do because it's habitually been breathing in this upper part of the lungs for such a long time. Slight anatomy lesson, your lungs actually go all the way down to the bottom of the rib cage, and when we just breathe in the upper part of our chest, we're not using the capacity of the lungs that we should be using. This is often brought on through stress, like I said, and it can be a pattern of breath that the brain has just got used to doing. In a fight or flight response, it's natural for the body to be breathing in this upper part of the chest because back in the day when we were faced with a stress, we often needed to be able to run away or fight, and that requires us to have more oxygen breathing coming into our body. So we use our neck muscles around this area to help get more air in. But in common modern day society, often the stresses that we're facing are not things that we need to fight or run away from. They're just chronic, habitual, high levels of stress, which we don't need to be breathing using our neck muscles. But our brain hasn't been told that. So what we need to try and do is switch off that fight or flight mechanism, switch off these neck muscles that don't want to be doing the breathing for us, and work at getting our breath lower down into our body. But like I said, that is easier said than done. So one of the things we can do to help encourage the breath to flow into the side of the body and the back of the body is to use a strap. So you don't need to have a yoga strap, you could use a scarf or a dressing gown cord or anything that you can just kind of fit around your rib cage. And we'll start off by sitting on our seat bones like we've practiced before, making sure the pelvis isn't tucking back or sticking out too far forward, that we're sitting nicely on top of our two seat bones underneath our bottoms. And then we're stacking our rib cage over our pelvis. We're stacking our shoulders over our rib cage, and we're just gently stacking our head over the shoulders. So there's a really nice line from the crown of our heads right to our tailbones, elongating the spine as we sit nicely, and the feet nice and grounded onto the floor. Hips and knees are at a nice 90-degree angle. So whilst you're just sitting there now, placing one hand on the chest, one hand on the belly, closing your eyes, and just take a few breaths in and out. Have a feel which hand is moving the most. Is it the top hand on your chest that seems to be rising and falling, or is it the hand on the belly? And then bring a hand to the side of your rib cage. And again, see where your breath seems to be flowing most. And on the other side. And then popping a hand behind your back. And seeing if you can feel any movement of the breath into the back of the body when you breathe. Now, another thing I often see as well is breathing that's been flipped the wrong way around. So when you inhale, the belly goes in and the shoulders come up. And as you exhale, belly goes out, shoulders go down. Now actually when we're breathing in, air is coming into the lungs and they're expanding. So when you're breathing in and your belly's coming in, that's just really dysfunctional breathing, because it's not letting the diaphragm drop down to let the air come down into the ribs and expand open. So you may have felt that when you were doing that breathing, rather than your hand coming out and in as you took a breath. It actually came in and out, the reverse of that. And that's okay. If that's what you're doing, then just be aware of that, and let's see if we can just start to change some of those movement patterns a little bit. So if you found that your top hand was moving the most compared to any other part of the body, then this is going to be a really good thing for you to practice to help encourage that breath. So taking your strap and placing it around the bottom, kind of below your shoulder blades, around the ribcage area. Crossing it over in front of you, but gently. We're not kind of garroting ourselves here, we're just gently feeling the pressure of the band, the strap around our ribcage, and we're still thinking about growing tall, elongating the spine, tucking the back of the head, tucking the chin to lengthen the back of the neck. Now, what we're going to do is, as we take an exhale, gently pull forward on the straps and across. So we're creating a little bit of tension on each side of the ribcage. And then as you breathe in, think about breathing into the strap. And then exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Using the strap as a bit of a feedback helps the brain connect the two areas that you're wanting to try and move. So rather than just thinking, oh, I really want to get breath down here, but I don't know how to do it, the sensation of the strap around the ribcage is really going to help the brain go, oh, okay, that's where you want me to send the air. And because the strap is coming around the back as well, it's going to help send the air into this lower part of the back. Doing that a couple more times. And relax. And just have a bit of a jiggle and a wiggle. Okay. So now just have a feel, see if that's improved your brain's awareness of where you wanted the air to go. So popping the hand back on the chest and a hand back on a rib cage. Have a breath and see if maybe there's more air flowing down into this part of the lung and maybe less movement of the upper arm. So if that was something that you found difficult to do, then again, it's probably something that you need to have a little bit of a practice of, just regularly. You don't always have to have your strap. You can use your arms and your hands, anything that's just going to create a little bit of feedback to the brain to know where you want the air to be going. Or the strap is a really useful tool that can really just help wrap around the whole of the rib cage to increase that brain to body connection. Hopefully you find that helpful. It's going to be really good to help relax some of these neck and shoulder muscles, take away some of the tension here, if that's something that you suffer from. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.